If you look at the big picture of things, a self-sufficient life is where we can produce these things by ourselves or locally. Now, if we look at the bigger system of the world, the way it operates, we have banks at the top, and governments, and churches, schools, police, media, internet, phones, electronics, gas, and oil. University TVs, radios, news, and movies tie into the media. We have the corporations, the shipping companies, the organizations, the USDA, the DNR, the FDA. We have tobacco, alcohol, seeds, tools, clothing, meds, food, water, and resources, and land controlled by these entities. Now, a lot of these corporations ship from other countries. Things aren't produced locally. So we have shipping companies that run that. It's regulated by the regulators. We have the government and the banks. And a lot of people, this system makes for an easy life in a way. If you work in the system, and you're part of the cogs, you're at the bottom here, you're producing something in the system for the whole. But most of the U.S. electronics, food, and a lot of the resources are coming from other countries. It's being shipped in by shipping companies, corporations. And these corporations are working for money, and they want things as cheap as possible. And the USDA and the FDA regulate, supposedly, our food. So we get a lot of food being shipped or made that I would say is of questionable health and low quality that people are eating. The med industries, it's very large. We also have the beauty industry, which, if everybody was old-fashioned, that industry wouldn't exist. We want to try to use as little of the world system and be as independent from them as possible, which makes us free. Now, it seems all big government and corporations, they don't care for people that aren't working in their system. So the farmer here, or the homesteader, he's producing for himself, but the goal is for his own good, for his own family, and his neighbors around him. But the overall system does not profit as well from that. They would rather he produce one thing and sell it to the corporation that sells it to the stores that is regulated by these corporations. The government gets the taxes out of it. So I think the system today is built on basically the people at the bottom are wage slaves working for the dollar to buy all these things that are produced other places by other people. And the level of independence and freedom is missing. Now, I feel like in my life, my goal is to have high morality. I'm a Christian. That this system of the world has been built up in the last 100, 200 years to what we have today, is extremely fragile, and at any time could collapse. Say the banks collapsed, the whole system goes down. Say the internet collapsed, the system would go down. Say the electronics collapsed, or the oil, or the gas. Any number of these things would bring down the system and would cause chaos, because no longer would the basics of life be produced. And because everything is shipped by corporations, people don't have locally what they need to survive. So here's my thing. As homesteaders and as farmers and as humans on earth, I believe we should work on a small level to maintain our lives and not into this large system, this world system that's being used today. I feel like it's detrimental to life, to family, to community, and our souls, as we detach ourselves from the land, from good food, from good, clean water, and and our own resources, we become slaves to this system of the pyramid structure, where money and the government are at the top. I would say government is most likely controlled by corporations and banks more than we realize. But the bigger government gets, the more tyrannical it can become. And the more dangerous it is, the larger the system becomes, the more dangerous there is for a collapse to happen, or for a break in the system. Say there's a big war or a natural disaster or any number of things, shortages or lack of something, it will cause a disruption in the whole system. Now, because of how the media operates, they have the minds of the people. They can influence the minds of the people to do as they wish or to believe as they wish. People will say that they don't, but the average person in America is very much controlled by their schooling, the media, the news, and the television, and the internet. I think people would like to think themselves as free, but the most Americans are nothing more than wage slaves to corporate government. And I would encourage all of you in your lives, make the effort to become landed citizens of the earth, to grow your own food, your animals, and make your own resources, and work with others to build a system that is independent of. So let our goal be to produce our own resources, the basis of food, animal, plants, clothing, and shelter, from our own land with each other, and beat the system, guys.